What's going on, everyone? We're in for a little bit of a short video today. I'm doing a replay and I only had time to play one match. However, let that not convince you that this video is not top quality, because as you can see on the screen here, we're in for something special today. A special treat. Now, as you all know, months ago, I was kind of coping on this Frost and Flame Dragon deck for a while, and Frost and Flame Dragon is in fact not the only terrible Chaos monster retrained to be printed in Tactical Evolution. There's also its less handsome, less rich cousin, Desert Twister. Now, Desert Twister is kind of like just a much worse Frost and Flame Dragon, which is a much worse Chaos Sorcerer or something. So you have to banish 2 wind and 1 earth monster to summon this thing, which is like... I spent a while trying to figure out what deck could I possibly play that plays that many winds and earths. And I ended up on like Plant Dragons, which is a deck one of my teammates, Fitz, has played a little bit in the past few months. It's a fun deck. It's a cool deck. So I'm like, all right, we'll incorporate it into Plant Dragons then, and try to modify it to make it work. Play a couple of hamsters in here because it's an additional earth target. You've got the dandies and the card trooper that you want in your graveyard anyway for debris. Play triple debris as winds. Titanial's technically a wind. Wyverns are winds. And I threw in like a quick draw with a Sangan for another wind. Exploder Dragon is an earth, by the way, which maybe you could just main this as an earth target. I don't know. I don't know how many earths you really need. If you needed more, I honestly feel like going up to 3 hamster wouldn't be that bad. But yeah, this was the build I went with. It actually is okay. Desert Twister's a terrible card. I'm just gonna say it, but Plant Dragons are an okay shell for it. So let's see what we're able to do. How about that? How about we just show off the glory of Desert Twister? So I only played 1 match, as I said. That's all I had time for today, unfortunately. Very busy with grad school stuff, so trying to get videos out still, though. Here we're up against, I think, Gladiator Beast. We're going first. We just set a Raikou. I don't like setting Mirror with Raikou just because it's a small chance, but there is like the chance that you just get blown out by mind control. And I don't like putting myself in that position if I don't have to. So here we just set Dandelion. Again, I don't want to set a back row, even though the chance is now lower. So the opponent finally draws a GB. They're going to hit over my Dandelion, which is a little unfortunate, because if they'd hit over the Raikou, I could have popped the GB. They're going to banish the Dandy, so this debris in our hand looking a little worse. Here I'm like, okay, we can out both the back row and just make like a Stardust with protection in the form of Mirror. So, I mean, that's pretty much GG against Glads, since they are a very low power ceiling deck. And here we just set it all. I just let him hit over my Trooper. I'm like, if he hits Stardust, obviously we go for the Mirror Force there because of Shrink. He goes for Darius to get back the Rediari. And as you can see, the boy is in my hand. And as you can also see, we have precisely 2 winds and 1 earth in our graveyard, which means we can summon Desert Twister. You know, I honestly didn't think I was actually going to summon this monster. So yeah, looking at my graveyard, all my dragons are gone, so I'm kind of just like, what if I pitch Red Med and set the Raikou? Because I think the Raikou is a little higher value here, actually. So we go for the back row. Unfortunately, it's chainable, so a little bit of a fail there on the part of Desert Twister. I'm not going to attack. No sense risking my Stardust, actually, which was very smart because this ended up being Deep Prison. I think this Mirror Force was incorrect. I think I probably should have just let him hit into the Raikou, and I could pop the Darius, and then the Rediari would go back to deck, right? So I really didn't need to burn my Mirror that soon. Anyway, we're going to start popping back row with the Desert Twister and the Raikou. Obviously, the quick draw is just not that great of a draw. We mill Red Med plus Wyvern, which is sick. Here, I decided to attack with everything because we have game with the set called on. Oh, the replay kind of cut it off at the end. I should have slowed it down. but we flipped our Call of the Haunted to revive Red Med and attack for game after hitting win with the Stardust. So that's what happened. That's how we ended up finishing off game number 1. Game number 2, our hand's not terrible. We've drawn a couple dead cards, which is rough, but, you know, it is what it is. Maybe we should have just attacked here. I don't know. There's like so much that can go wrong attacking here, though. It could be like Deep Prison or Mirror or like Hoplomus, or it's just like, yeah, I mean, usually it's going to be something, right? I mean, best case scenario, Book of Moon, I guess, but I don't know. I feel like attacking there usually goes wrong, so I wouldn't do it. End phase Dust Tornadoes, my Bottomless kind of sucks. Here he goes for the Smashing Ground play. I flip up. I considered just dusting before they attacked, but that would really have telegraphed the mirror, and then they would just not attack. So I flipped the Mirror Force, and they flipped Starlight Road, and I just scoop here. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's rough. That's rough. Road is an insane card. I mean, I've been saying. Here, I consider setting all 3. I'm like, you know what? It's GBs. If they have heavy, whatever. But I just want to stop them from, like, attacking me. So I might just set it all. I decided in the end just Hamster Bottomless is an okay route to go. I think it's a little less risky in terms of getting blown out on turn 1. Bottomless is really good because if they, like, hit into Hamster, tag into Bestie, we just get rid of it. So, yeah. They search for Laquari, and then they don't attack. Okay. I guess they wanted to set the War Chariot. That makes sense. Here we go for Future Fusion. We realized at this moment that we forgot to put 5-head in the extra deck. So I just proxy like a Fortress Dragon. The opponent's fine with it. They're very, very chill, very cool opponent. I think I sided out one of my Wyverns. It was weird. I brought in like a ton of stuff, and I didn't really know what to side out, as per usual. So we kind of only have 2 Wyverns, but this Future Fusion is still crazy, still insane to draw in the Dragon deck. So we just revive 1. We're playing around the mass removal stuff. I guess the concern here is if they draw Bestie or like a second Proving Ground, that could be rough. We go for an end phase Dust. We hit the Mirror, which is awesome because now we just don't have to play around Mirror Force for the rest of the game. So I try to use Red Med. I probably should have foreseen the War Chariot there, huh? Anyway, we set the Exploder Dragon. We brought these in because they're obviously very good against GBs. They get run over, they just kill the GB. If you out the monster, then GBs doesn't do too much. So he hits in with Plomus. Just gonna trade. Switching this to defense tells me he doesn't have Starlight Road. So honestly, maybe he shouldn't have done it, but the Mirror Force is there, so it's like he would have gotten punished. Actually, I probably wouldn't have mirrored here just to play around Road, because I don't really care if he hits these guys. I already saw him use the War Chariot, so like either Hamster or Exploder Dragon getting attacked into is just like fine. I guess he would get to tag out with one of them though. The 5-head's going to come down. We hit in. Of course, it's going to eat a Deep Prison. It was going to eat something. And by the 5-head, I mean the Fortress Dragon with 5 counters on it to signify that it is 5-head. Anyway, we're in a pretty good spot here. We got just huge advantage, huge board advantage as well. Opponent hits in. Here I just Mirror Force. I'm like, there's like a Shrink or something going on here. And it was a Shrink, it looks like. So no reason to let him do that. And it's fine to just trade Mirror 1 for 1 at this point, because like I said, we're really ahead. So we draw Storm. I figured that'll be useful potentially in the future, but I don't really want to burn it just yet. I do get a little aggressive, thinking I can like flip Raikou and do a bunch of damage, but they have a Waboku, and it gets chained, so it's not going to happen. Here I decided to go for the Storm, because I'm like, we'll just make Stardust, and the opponent will be on no cards, and that's basically a win. Just a win con is just game over if I make Stardust here, so yeah. We do that. Opponent draws a GB, or, you know, Proving Ground. It's a GB. They use the quest to add back Laquari, which I think was probably correct by them. Here, I top deck Cyber Dragon, and I'm like, is there a way for me to hit game here? And then I realize I can tribute my Stardust to put the second wind in the graveyard so that I can then summon the boy, the Desert Twister, which is actually enough for game. I cannot believe that I summoned this guy twice in the only match I played with it. It's so like impossible to summon, and it's so bad, but I managed to do it. So I mean, pretty hype match. Taking down GBs with Plant Dragons with Desert Twister. Anyway, I just wanted to make a deck with Desert Twister. Sometimes we just gotta do things for science, right? I mean, that's just what it's about. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like, be sure to comment, subscribe. Do all of the things you're supposed to do on YouTube to help support me, because I am closing in on 1K subs. I cannot overstate how grateful I am for all of the support and all of the viewership that I've been getting. So thank you all, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.